I was just a couple months old as a Christian, I was hitchhiking a ride because my car was out of service. And some guys picked me up, and it was a terrifying moment. If you can imagine this, they drove down into an alley and put guns to my head. I was trapped. I could have been killed. That would have been the end of my life as a senior at Cleveland State University. But you know, they robbed me. They told me to start walking, and then they pulled out and they left me. I'll tell you, that day I yielded my life to Jesus, and I realized he spared me for a purpose. Well, I believe one of the main directives that God has given me, outside of knowing him in the beauty of his life and communing with him on a daily basis, is to really fulfill an assignment he's given me to educate and equip and engage people all over this country and abroad in the society in which we live. So we render to Caesar that which is Caesar's, and we're able to be the salt that Jesus told us we're to be. I'm holding USA Today because right now, if ever we needed you as a Christian, with your church, with your ministry, with the women's Bible study, with the young people you're with, whoever it might be, we need to understand we're living in a very historic time, and now the 2020 election is officially, it's underway. We had Iowa caucus, and then we're going on, you know what'll be, New Hampshire, and then it's going to be what, South Carolina, Nevada, and it's going to be a race. And here on the front page of USA Today, this is, you know, the paper, they're saying it's all launching. And here you have Iowa caucuses, testing of candidates, and here are the candidates, Joe Biden, and here's Mayor Pete Buttigieg, and here's Amy Klobuchar from Minnesota, and then here's Bernie Sanders, and here's Elizabeth Warren, and here's Mr. Yang, and here they are. And they're presenting their positions and their policies, and their rhetoric is flying, and all of what they're saying. But I'm asking a question right now, and it's this. Are people leaving the Democratic Party, maybe in secret? And I did a commentary on Charisma News, WND, various news services this week, and it simply made this statement. It just said this. It said 7 reasons why people are saying sayonara to the Democratic Party. And you might say, what? Is that happening? Well, you know, there was a rally that President Trump had recently in Ohio, my home state, and they found, 43% of the people, when they asked them leaving, identified as, guess what? Democrats and independents. They're checking things out. It's kind of like, remember Nicodemus in John chapter 3? He came to Jesus at night. He just wanted to check things out. And in Proverbs, it tells us, it says that the prudent man sees danger and he hides himself, but the fool goes on and suffers for it. And I think there's a stirring in a lot of people in America, and having come off of the whole impeachment fiasco, this sham that was just unbelievable, the waste of time and money, and in line with a Democratic Party that is saying, we're going to impeach this man, we're going to get him out of office, he's a duly elected president, we don't believe that, the Russian collusion, and all of these things to get him out instead of simply letting the election come. Well, I wrote this commentary, and I want to call your attention to it, to go to Charisma News or WND and other places and read the contents. But do you know there are 7 reasons, and it's okay to shift identification with a political party? It really is. I can tell you this. At one time, my dad and mom, they were rabid Democrats. I was a Democrat. My good buddy and colleague Steve Strang at Charisma, who just wrote the book on Trump and God in the 2020 election, he was a Democrat. You say, what, really? Sure, folks, my Jimmy Carter for president, he was a born-again Sunday school teacher. And John F. Kennedy, I was raised Catholic, so Kennedy, man, the crusader, he's the man. Well, you know what? People have looked and said, something's happened to the Democratic Party, and it's reality. It's a brutal reality. What do they stand for? What do they represent? And you need to know what that is. Now, there's a tremendous book out by another colleague of a guy that I've met and been with, Eric Metaxas, and it's called If You Can Keep It. And when the Constitutional Convention was finishing up and we had a constitution, a lady said to Ben Franklin, Mr. Franklin, what kind of government? What do we have? What do we have? And he said, a republic, if you can keep it. And we're not a pure democracy. What we are is a representative republic. That's why we have an electoral college, that we give everybody equal representation in all the states. If it was just California and New York with the high population, that's where the candidates would go. But the framers were brilliant. But see, Mr. Metaxas is making a case, as so many are today. It's red alert. It's blow a trumpet. We're in a very serious time, and we have to recognize what the parties and the candidates represent. Now, let me tell you this. I'll give you a little sneak preview. What are 7 things, really, reasons why people they're saying sayonara to the Democratic Party? Well, number 1 is this: the advancing and the aggressive, intentional push of the LGBTQ agenda, and pushing it to get it into the schools and every way possible. Number 2 is this: celebrating the abortion of unborn children, celebrating it right up to the moment of birth. And the candidates pushing taxpayer funding of this, Planned Parenthood. Folks, you got to ask, is this what I want to identify with? Even though I was a member at one time and identified, I look and I say, this would have been unheard of just a few decades ago. How about number 3? Change the makeup of our free market economy with opportunity for all willing and able to work into a socialistic, government-controlled production, and profit. Is that really what we want? That's not our heritage. That's not how we founded, giving people opportunity. Folks, I thank God for the opportunities I've had in America. I mean, I started out, I put slop on buildings, I sold magazines door to door. I had jobs in a plating company on an assembly line. I sold magazines door to door knocking, but I had opportunities to advance and to grow. And I step back and say, I don't want a government dominating. And this idea of redistribution of wealth, socialism, all I got to do is look at Venezuela and Cuba and what's happened in the past. And with socialism and the communistic approach, the destruction of lives, over 100 million people. Come on, dude. Well, I'll tell you this. Number 4 reason is this: embrace an open borders immigration policy, allowing all foreign nationals into America, giving free health care, and giving them projected status until future asylum hearings that really don't come for years, and many of them, most don't even show. Is this what we want? No, America has to have borders for security. Number 5, accept and advocate lawlessness, promotion of sanctuary cities for illegal immigrants, ignoring of laws on drugs, legalizing drugs. You say, what? Folks, this is what the party is advocating, pushing today. Number 6, intentionally obstruct each initiative by our duly elected president and obsess over removing him from office by any means necessary. That's what we've been living through. You know what? Here's a 7th reason people are leaving the party. They're saying, I can't identify with this. Promote numerous initiatives harmful to America. Like what? Legalize marijuana, other recreational drugs, decriminalize prostitution, provide every adult with $1,000. I mean, folks, you say, Larry, is this really going on? It's happening on our watch. So you know what? Here's the deal. You and I need to be alert to what's taking place in our country today. What do the candidates represent? Do we want radical leftist-leaning extremists that are promoting policies and positions that I believe, and Mr. Metaxas and senior leaders all over this country are trying to wake us up to, would destroy our country, rip out our heritage, and promote a whole new system of government that would be destructive to our family, our freedom, our future? Or are we going to stand strong on how this nation was established for the glory of God and the advancement of the Christian faith? I encourage you, read the article, the commentary on 7 reasons why scores are saying sayonara to the Democrat Party. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Let's not be those kind of people. Let's be people knowledgeable, alert, awake, engaged, equipped, educated, and informed influencers reaching others with the truth.